My name is Christine Gelley, and I'm an extension educator for agriculture and natural resources here in Noble County, Ohio. And we are currently at the Eastern Agricultural Research Station in Bell Valley. What we're doing here in our research today is we're looking at the establishment methods for native warm season grasses and how those can be utilized on farm. The native warm season project that we're working on right now is a combined effort that started with a question from Pheasants and Quail Forever, and then went deeper into extension and into the Department of Plant and Animal Sciences as well. Dr. Marilia Chiavagato has a graduate student working on this project. Her name is Chelsea Rodriguez. And throughout our partnerships, we've expanded to have locations in 4 different counties. It's also at Jackson and also in Brown County at the Green Acres Foundation Farm. And we also have one additional site in Belmont County at the Dutton Farm. There's been producer interest in going off of the beaten path of the recommendations for establishment with these natives. Some of our producers are looking at alternative ways to establish that use fewer herbicides than are typically recommended. One of the biggest issues we run into with native warm season grasses is weed competition. So establishment often takes multiple herbicide applications for success, but honoring our producers' interests in establishing them without the use of herbicides, we're looking at different criteria for establishment, including the use of cover crops and also tillage, to see which treatments are leading to successful establishment over time. The treatments that we have currently in the study are a treatment that includes just a burn down herbicide application followed by a drilled planting. And then we also have a treatment that includes a burn down followed by a cover crop, followed by another herbicide application, and then a drilled planting. And then we have our organic establishment plots that include tillage, 2 rounds of cover crops, and then a drilled planting of the native warm season seeds. Within that, we're looking at multiple different species. We have our most commonly used native warm season grasses here. Together in one plot, we have big blue stem and Indian grass. In another plot, we have switchgrass, and then we also have eastern gamma grass. All of those treatments and species are replicated on the site 4 times. The cover crops that we utilized in the treatments that included herbicide were annual ryegrass, which was then utilized with a herbicide to kill in the springtime. And on the organic plots, we utilized summer crop of sorghum Sudan grass, followed by oats. And the oats was able to winter kill, so we didn't need to use a herbicide in that case. The reason that we're so interested in the ability to establish these grasses successfully is because they have the ability to increase the number of days of grazing and reduce the days that we're feeding hay overall in our production system. The forages that we're most commonly using in Ohio are perennial cool season grasses, and they tend to hit a summer slump in the middle of summer. Like right now when it's hot, it tends to get a little bit dry. They don't grow as well and often will go dormant. But our native warm season grasses, that's their prime time to grow. So we can help fill the gap of those cool season perennials with these warm season perennials and incorporate them to get an extended grazing season. One of the other benefits of being able to utilize these is the longevity of the stand. Once it is established, it can last for decades without needing renovated or replanted. But that early establishment phase is critical for making sure they get off to a good start. Throughout the time that we've had this trial implemented, we have looked at things like forage mass, so looking at how much yield is actually coming from the plots over the entire growing season. But one of the huge things we're looking at is weed competition. So from early establishment, just when the plants are starting to emerge, we looked at number of plants per square foot to do a stand density, comparing that to how many weeds we saw and also bare ground, which we've continued throughout the study and we're actually doing today. But then we've also looked at things like height of the stand and the nutritive value of the forage that's harvested. Obviously, we want to provide a good quality crop to our grazing livestock or those being fed in another system. So understanding if we're producing a valuable forage in the process is just as valuable as knowing how much of it we're producing. All of those things have been monitored since the plots began in 2021, and now we're here in 2023 continuing to monitor how weed competition is changing over time.
Within our field data, we can compare how weed pressure differed between our treatments in 2022 and 2023. Our treatment 1 consists of a conventional management. Here, we notice an increase of native warm season grasses in the stand during 2023, even while the weed pressure continued. Our treatment 2 was similar to 1, with added winter cover crop as a transition for the native grasses. When comparing 2022 versus 2023, we notice an improvement stand overall, but specifically in eastern gamagrass species, and decline of weeds in these same species. Our treatment 3 is our organic treatment. While treatments 1 and 2 consisted of conventional treatments of native grasses had an increase in stand, our organic treatments declined in native warm season grasses, comparing the 2022 versus 2023. In summary, our conventional treatments improved the stand within our second year of establishment of native warm season grasses. This data shows the importance of weed management within the first years of establishment of native warm season grasses.
Want to learn more? Visit the link on the screen to get your copy of this year's eBarns report.